Today, I'm going to be covering the 5 most common sexual kinks that I've experienced in modern dating. All right. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm a Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping a video every day. All right. The 5 most common sexual kinks I've experienced in modern dating. And look, a little bit about my background. I've had hundreds of dates in the last 2.5 years and being single, and I was married before. So I know a little bit about this, not hundreds of partners. I'm talking hundreds of dates. And I've had lots and lots of conversations about kinks and stuff. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. Number 1 is a praise kink. And by the way, these kinks are not necessarily in order of like priority or whatever. This is the way I wrote my notes. So a praise kink, this is a big one. Most women have some kind of a praise kink where when I say praise, I'm not saying where you constantly telling them, thank you, you're beautiful, or any things like that. I'm talking about when they're pleasing you and you say, oh, really like the sound of your voice. Oh, you smell so good. Oh, the way you touch me. Those kind of praises, right? All right. So number 2, and this is a big, big one, maybe even in fact the number 1 kink that I've experienced, and that's a domination kink. Now there's layers to this, and I won't go on and on and on about it. And most importantly, you need to communicate in advance and you need to have consent. So you can't, anyways, let me just talk about some of the domination things and then I'll explain. All right. So for example, choking. You can't, without having a conversation about it, you can't just all of a sudden go in there and start choking her. She will be scared. She'll be afraid. She'll be traumatized if you do that. Like one thing you could do if you haven't spoken about it is you can put your hand near her neck, right? And just get a feeler and see how she's reacting. And then if you like, okay, she's like comfortable with it, then you can apply more pressure. But I will forewarn you, don't be applying pressure on the windpipe here because that's where she's breathing. You don't want to cut her breath off. So it's around the sides. You can squeeze around the sides if you can see this in the video, right? But again, gentle, then progressively turning up the heat, if that makes sense, and getting feedback that she is enjoying it. But I haven't met a single woman that doesn't like to be dominated in that way and have some choking as part of what you're doing. All right. Another one is pulling hair. Again, soft, like you need to communicate and kind of test the waters and see how she's feeling. You can't just go right in there and start pulling her hair. But again, I haven't met a single woman that doesn't like her hair pulled unless she's wearing a wig. That's a different story, which is a lot of black women are wearing wigs or they've got a special weave going on or braids. They don't want that all messed up. That's an exception, but pulling hair is another one. Slapping her ass. That one, it's almost like you don't even have to ask. You just, out of the blue, smack. And I haven't met a single woman that doesn't like that ass slapped. All right. Another one is doggie style, grabbing her, pulling her, putting her in front of you and just kind of dominating that way. I haven't met a single woman that doesn't like that, especially doggy style. I did a video on why women like doggy style. BDSM, being tied up and all that stuff. Again, this is all like something you have to talk about in advance because it could freak her out. So the domination kink is a huge one. That's number 2. Number 3 is public sex kink. So I'm not talking about having sex in a place where you risk getting arrested for indecency. No, I'm talking about, it's like, as an example, I used to live in Ottawa, Canada. Now I live in Atlanta. Both apartments have had basically floor to ceiling windows, and every single woman that I've had at my place, I've been obsessed with the windows and being close. They're like, wow, I could see like right outside. These windows are amazing. And specifically either during the day or at night, and they want to have sex right in front of the window, or they want to be pressed up against the window. That's pretty wild. Also, I have a balcony, and there's a couple times where in the evening, not during the day, where they wanted me to take them on the balcony. That's pretty exciting. Or even PDA. So PDA is public displays of affection. So when you're at a restaurant, as an example, you can be a little naughty. You're sitting beside each other and nobody's really looking, and you can kind of put your hand between her legs, or you're on a plane. You know what I mean? I don't have to go on and on about it. You guys know. So almost every single woman I've been with likes playfulness and naughtiness in public as well. So number 4, now the last two are kind of interesting. Number 4 is a sleep kink. And so a sleep kink is essentially where they like being taken advantage of during their sleep. Now, not all the time. Some women are very sensitive sleepers and don't want to be disturbed. But most women are totally down. Again, if you talk about this in advance, totally down with in the middle of the night, you start touching them in places gentle, nice, and all of a sudden they get all hot and bothered, and then you end up having sex. And so the sleep kink's a big one, and they almost most of the women, I would say 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, totally are down for any time for me to like start touching them in the middle of the night and taking advantage of them. So number 5, number 5 is a injury kink. So look, just to make a point, I got to show you this. Look at this. See this? Yeah. I fractured my ankle and I needed 4 stitches. I had a minor, I guess kind of accident, not major, but an accident on my hyper scooter. So, the scooters you can rent on the roads? Well, I have my own and it can go 90 miles an hour. And this thing's a fucking beast. And let me know if you want me to share my other YouTube channel where I show videos of me riding this thing. So I took some bumps too fast and ended up wiping out. The scooter has minor damage, no problem, but I injured my ankle. So this is just one example. I've been injured in the past and a few times. And what's interesting is not only do I get quite a bit of attention from women now with this boot because they see me injured, like this little injured bird, but I've had a situation recently where she wanted to take advantage of me and was kind of turned on with the fact that I've had this injury and that she can kind of make her way with me. So this is the real thing. So this has been my experience. Maybe you guys have had other experiences, but these have been my experiences with kinks and the sexual kinks specifically that have in my dating and what's been the top 5. So let me know in the comments what are some of the kinks you guys have come across. Again, keep it kind of PG because it is YouTube, but hope you like this video. Let's see you next time.